Hi, I'm Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life. I talked to acclaimed director and executive producer Roland Emmerich.
When I saw the first race, I was like giddy.
Actor Ewan Ryan.
For an actor, that's a dream, although you do get a lot of sand in your sandals.
And so many more.
You helped summon those ghosts back onto that stage.
Every day when I went to set, I was giggling about what I saw.
I think it's going to be a breathtaking thing.
People will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. Look for The Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
What? Hello! Hello. Hey. Hi, everyone.
Jenny's back.
I'm here.
Jenny, we've missed you in the intro.
It has been so tough to not be here.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me come back.
But we, I feel a little closer. We've had some special bonding time. So
you and them?
Me and them, yes.
How dare you?
Listen, when the wife one is away, the wife two will play.
So I'm wife one.
Yeah,
cool.
Probably not.
How dare
I
you?
probably reverse that order. Anyway,
all right.
We have some things to tell you before we jump into choices today's episode. Okay, first of all, prom. Prom is happening so soon. It's like a week and a half away. As you all know, our Buffy prom in LA sold out in 3 tiny little minutes.
Yikes.
Yeah. So we know that there are a whole bunch of Scoobies out there who want to join us, but who couldn't. So here are some things you should know. There are now prom meetups, which we are calling prom-ups, happening in Chicago, in Atlanta, in New York City. You can find all of the details for those over at bufferingthevampireslayer.com/prom. And you can also submit a prom-up in your own city if you want to, over on that link. We know many of you will also want to peek in on what's going on at the Ace Hotel, so we have 2 fun things to share with you. Number 1, Brittany Ashley and Laura Zach, who host the Daria podcast, Sicker, Sadder World, will be running our Instagram stories throughout the evening.
Yay!
Yes, so fun. You can follow us over on Instagram at BufferingCast and join us digitally. They're going to have a lot of fun clips, so you can get little peeks at what's going on as the evening progresses. Also, if you are a patron of ours, we'll be streaming both of Jenny's live music sets on our secret Facebook page. We don't want to give too much away, but there's going to be some guests, and there will be a Kate Leth, and there might be lyric sheets for a sing-along of a certain song. I don't know. We'll see.
Wow.
If you want to become a patron, you can go on over to bufferingthevampireslayer.com. Just click on Patreon. So again, we'll be streaming the complete live sets for you over on the secret Facebook page.
Also, if you're in the LA area, we will be doing a free post-prom meetup at Griffith Park on March 11th. That's the Sunday morning after prom at 11:30 a.m. All of those details will be posted up on our calendar, on our website, as well as up in our Facebook events. It'd be so nice to see you all.
Yeah.
Oh my God, in the sobering light of day.
Who's bringing the bagels, am I right?
Who is bringing the bagels? Meanwhile, last but not least, we've seen a few questions come through about the LA prom, and by this weekend, we will have put up a few FAQs for you all on the main prom page. So check for that if you have questions, if you want answers. Friendly reminder that this is only our first prom, and we will be doing another next year and probably forevermore after that. Yeah.
Hell yes. Okay, moving along. This month, we're raising money for the Brown Boy Project, and we still have a couple of lyric sheets left. We'd really like to sell these out with your help, so go on over to our website and click the Brown Boy Project link up in the top bar. You can grab a handwritten lyric sheet from us, and you can support a super, super worthy cause.
Speaking of worthy causes, we had a limited edition t-shirt that said, "Be the thing monsters have nightmares about," up for 2 weeks. Designed by Christine Tuna, with all proceeds going to benefit Time's Up. Thanks to you, we raised $3,631. Holy hell.
$3,631.
Thank you much?
$631.
Fucking amazing.
Incredible.
You are treasures.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, we had the most amazing Buffy watch together this past weekend where we cackled and we gasped and we sat in awe at all that is vampire Willow in Doppelgangland. So just want to thank all of you who joined us for that Buffy watch. We're going to be doing a mega Buffy watch of Graduation Day, both parts. Graduation Day parts 1 and 2 in late March. So if you're a patron at any level, stay tuned and there will be details coming for when exactly we will be doing that. I am pretty stoked. Last thing, Randy for Giles pins are back again. They keep going and we keep getting them back. We've had them made in soft enamel on this round and they look really, really awesome. The black is really nice and it pops. You can check it out. You can see what
They
you think.
look good, not unlike Giles in Band Candy.
You can go to bufferingthevampireslayer.com and click on shop to find those. And that, I believe, is all we have to say.
Sweet heavenly Moses, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Hello and welcome to Buffering the Vampire Slayer, a podcast where we are watching and discussing every episode of my favorite show, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, one at a time in sweet, heavenly, chronological order, just as the Lord in heaven intended.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot what happens next in the intro. Oh yeah, spoiler free. We're doing it spoiler free. And of course, I'm Jenny Owen Young.
Yes, and of course, I'm Kristen Russo. And this week, we are talking about Season 3, Episode 19. Where has the time gone?
Just flown right on by.
I'm sad about it. I'm going to blink my eye and I'll be 42 and this podcast will be over.
42?
No,
Oh.
I know.
I got lost. You're like, oh, you'll never believe how huge this number is, so you'll definitely know it's a joke. 42.
I know. I don't know what happened. I was trying to be dramatic, but I literally will probably be 41. Okay, so anyway, we're talking about Season 3, Episode 19, Choices. Stay tuned at the end of this podcast every week for an original song written by us recapping the Buffy episode we are discussing.
Choices was written by David Fury and directed by James A. Contner and originally aired on May 4th, 1999.
May the 4th be with you.
Okay.
In 1999.
Uh-huh.
This is the one where the mayor takes Willow prisoner after Buffy and her friends steal away a box containing demonic energy needed for Ascension Day.
Demonic energy?
Or is it
that
fucking huge spiders?
big old spiders?
Big old spiders. It's like, were they trying not to spoil the spiders? Because they spoiled everything
And literally
else.
everything else.
Yeah. Leave them one surprise.
Man.
This episode is important, and we're going to spend almost the entirety of this episode of the podcast talking about
This episode of the show, but we forgot something.
Yeah.
In the last episode.
We sure did.
Which is, of course,
Sexual Attention Award.
Yes, we forgot.
a gross oversight.
The Sexual Tension
The shame.
Award. You just used the words gross and shame right after the Sexual Tension Award jingle, so I just want to be clear.
Focus on the context and what I'm actually saying.
Right.
Not just the words that you're associating.
Right. So you told us on the internet there was something sexually missing or some tension was missing. I don't remember.
Sexually
Somebody,
missing.
yes,
Yeah,
there was a little somebody, a little bi furious is their name on Twitter.
Sure.
Tamika Olivia. I can't help but feel that there was a little tension missing from this episode. That is what the tweet alerted me. And so then we retweeted it and got some nominees from you all, which is a fun thing that happened because of the oversight.
Who did the listeners nominate?
Okay, so Willow and her worksheets was,
Sure.
Cordelia and Willow's worksheets was
Sure.
a nominee. Willow and the Power of Interrogation. Freddy and his ego or his desk. Xander and his jello. Cordelia and her own thoughts.
Nice.
Yep. How about Xander and Hogan Martin? Xander's pretty adorably flustered when Hogan knows his name.
That's true.
Giles and Wesley were nominated.
Wow.
Angel and Comedy for the line, I'm a funny guy.
Great. A+, Angel.
But a couple of nominees for Giles and Joyce.
Oh.
I don't mean to stack the deck here with the way that I read those off. I think all the suggestions are great.
He did wear that shirt.
He wore the shirt. Like, that's where I'm at.
But also, nobody said the lunch lady and rat poison or the lunch lady and, like, homicide.
No. Nope. Nobody said
I want to introduce those.
Okay.
But probably it should go to Giles and Joyce any chance we have the opportunity.
I just feel like that shirt.
Yeah, no, he was going for it.
Right. My vote is Giles and Joyce with those Cole nominated Joyles. Nominated Joyles.
Cool. All right.
Kate S. nominated Joyles.
Rupert, Joyce, look for the trophy in the mail.
Yes,
Congratulations on this
congrats.
momentous occasion.
This trophy will have a little figurine wearing a black button-up shirt.
Yes.
Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way,
okay.
Shall we?
Listen, the previously on, if you're watching a version of the episode that has a previously on, the previously on is so long. There are 2 entirely separate scenes to illustrate that the mayor is now impervious, whatever. But the most important thing that happens in previously on is we get to see Buffy and Faith on their, like, sort of like in lunge positions, holding knives at one another's throats.
Hell yeah.
And I could have just turned the episode off personally
then?
and been like, cool.
Stick around, she says, sexually. In my opinion. That's an erotic novel. It's just stick around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of knives.
Yes. Speaking of knives.
What's in the box?
Oh my God. Okay, wait. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing. So this episode, Faith gets her knife. Right? Her own Mr. Pointy, if you will. Faith's own version of Mr. Pointy. She's real excited about it. A few weeks ago, I went to our P.O. box. Jenny was not even here.
I was in New York.
And I was like, what is this hefty box? And on the box, it was from overseas. So it had a customs form on it. And it was like, customs declaration, blunt knife. And I was like, what in the heck?
Go on.
Yeah, please tell me more, customs form. So I got home and I unwrapped the box.
I like that you waited till you got home.
I mean,
blunt knife. Open it in the car.
Listen, I had patience to get home. I opened the box, and inside, as you probably have gathered, was Faith's knife. It's called the Jackal. Jenny? Jenny? Do you have something to say?
It's like extra. There's like an extra weight. I don't know if you remember the episode of The West Wing where everyone's like, CJ's gonna do the thing. CJ's gonna do the Jackal, and CJ Craig like does this weird lip sync to this song, The Jackal. So like that is forever emblazoned upon my mind, and now will be connected to this knife forever for me.
Yes. Okay.
CJ
Great. Wow. This is like a crossover.
Yes.
Okay. So Lucy from across the pond, in Lucy's own words, sent us this knife and explained that they were a huge Buffy fan. I mean, still obviously are. But when Lucy was 19, they had purchased this at the height of their Buffy fandom. They had purchased the Jackal because their intention was always to get it signed or put it in a display case, but they never got around to it. And it's been in their cupboard ever since. And, they thought, who would appreciate
me? I would appreciate.
I lost my ever-living mind. I texted Jenny, and then I texted everyone else I knew because we hadn't yet done choices, so I couldn't put it on the internet right away. It was like a whole thing. Anyway,
yeah, back before there was the internet, if you wanted to tell everyone,
you had to
something. You
it
just
took
had
a long time.
Just one at a time.
One at a time. So anyhow, we are now in possession of the Jackal. And if you want it, we put pictures up on social media, and we'll put up the picture up on Patreon of us with the Jackal. We're very excited, Lucy. We really barely contained ourselves. So thank you for that.
Truly.
I think we might have been as excited opening up that box as Faith was.
Yeah.
Opening her own.
Yes. Now listen.
Yes.
We know that's how excited we are because the first thing that I did when I got home from New York was unsheath the Jackal and sniff it. Sniff it as hard as I could, which is exactly what Faith does when she takes it out of the fucking box. And
Yeah,
is like,
just that.
this is a thing of beauty, boss. What?
Oh, yeah, she does.
What?
She smells it. She
The
likes
sniffing.
She wants to smell that cold, hard steel.
I mean, it might just be the camera angle. I'm willing to accept that it might be the camera angle and that she's just like letting the light glint off of it and looking at it from every
she's
angle.
totally
And
smelling it.
but it really looks like she's smelling it.
So the mayor and Faith, I really don't. It's getting grosser for me. The way that the mayor is interacting with Faith.
Yeah.
It's like, we talked about it being a paternalistic kind of relationship, and it was weird a couple episodes ago when, he was like, you should probably try to have sex with Angel to take away, like,
Dad.
And this, yeah. And this scene, apart from your favorite knife sniff, it makes me very uncomfortable the way that he's like, I'm going to take that present away from you if you can't be a good girl and like have
no
another
free
cookie.
rides.
And, just like they're playing into the gross factor for us, of course, because this is a villain. Never shall we forget. This is an evil character.
Listen, nobody is in the coupling that they want to be in truly in their hearts in this episode.
Oh, boy.
Faith is hanging out with the mayor at the mayor's office because what else can she do? Buffy, meanwhile, has had to find somebody else to take to the cemetery to kill vampires. And it's just Angel. I mean, he's just there and like, he's gorgeous and tall and whatever. But you know what he's not?
What?
Faith.
Yeah, you know what else?
What?
Jenny? They sure didn't finish at the same time.
Listen, it's like a very special, rare.
Yes.
Sometimes you go your whole life slaying vampires and you never find somebody who finishes at the same time.
Right. And when you do, you should really keep that person close. Mm-hmm. Sadly, that person is not close. And instead
Buffy is forced, reduced to getting hungry and horny in the cemetery with somebody who's not Faith, which, what a bummer.
I have to say, like, Angel, we talked in the last episode about Angel's comedy line.
Uh-huh.
But he's really, something's happening to our Angel.
He's really leaning, he's been reading the forums.
Uh-huh.
Everyone's
People
like
it's
so great when Angel is dry. And he's like, watch me crackle.
Right? He's like talking about like, what about that one time I brought you to that cave?
To the sea cave.
Yeah, right.
That other kind of demon. I thought that was a nice change of pace.
It's like pretty funny, man. Like you're making me laugh, and I like it. I'll take it. Because as I always say, for every brood, you need a good laugh. And Angel's been giving us a lot of brood and no laughs for quite some time.
Yeah. Now he's turning it around.
Yeah, he's
making up for lost time.
Yeah. One thing that I just want to call attention to before we move forward is that the mayor keeps pink saran wrap in his drawer.
Oh my God.
It's
pink.
I just found it very sad. There's a lot of little details in this episode. I mean, we've seen details from the mayor, right? The sanitizer wipes and the,
milk, the unrefrigerated milk alert,
and the unrefrigerated milk. But in this episode, we have like the saran wrap in the drawer. There's also a scene later where he like where Faith is like entering, and the mayor's like busy sorting his pencils, like making sure they're all in their proper places. So just like a lot of little details.
Sure.
Mayoral details. But anyway, the credits.
Ba-ba-ba.
Da-da-da. Now we go to the house.
Joyce is so proud.
Joyce is the most proud.
Northwestern. Do you have any friends who went to Northwestern?
I don't. Northwestern is in Chicago, right? No, Northeastern.
I have a friend who went to Northwestern.
Who, Jenny?
One of probably if not the smartest, like
who?
My friend Britt.
Your friend Britt?
From my graduating class in high school. She went to Northwestern. And
she was very smart.
She is definitely in the top like 2 or 3 smart, if not the smart. Not that it's a contest, not that intelligence is
quantifiable,
like
but making a
like
list.
the kind of person that you don't want to have to like square off against in anything academic.
I don't know if I know anybody that went to Northwestern. I always confuse it with Northeastern, and we definitely know at least one person that went to. I know at
Tamara
least
went to Northeastern.
Oh, and so did Maddie.
For a minute.
And so did this.
Well, we'll just list some of our friends you don't know.
That's great because we know how to podcast. We know
But
what
hey, if
people
the
want.
fucking smartest person I know from high school went to Northwestern and Buffy got in because of her SAT scores, and as we all know, SAT scores are the only thing that matter. And
well, I mean, I don't know. I think she gets a leg up for being a Slayer. You know, they're like, well, her SAT scores are pretty good, and also she's the chosen
very
one.
agile.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think most colleges would take the chosen one just for the novelty.
You think
of
she
it.
included that in her personal essay?
No, she didn't. Joyce gives us our titular line here. Buffy, you have so many choices.
I made a list of some of the choices that occur in this episode.
Okay, great. Tell us all the moments when we get the titular moment.
Can I just like blow through it
Yeah,
right
all
now?
of them. Do it.
Colleges for Buffy, colleges for Willow, colleges for Cordelia, a road trip for Xander, taking the fight to the mayor or not taking the fight to the mayor.
Wow.
Willow v. Box. Ayo. Willow reading books instead of escaping. That's as many as I collected.
Oh, wow. Well, I think one of the biggest choices is between, we'll get there, but between Wesley and the Scoobies, Wesley saying thousands of lives versus...
That's what Willow v. Box.
Oh, Willow v. Box. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
There's
I should have explained my shorthand.
Yeah.
That could have meant a lot of things.
Okay, so we'll get there because I want to talk about that. Of course. But for now, I just want to shout out to Joyce gets on the phone with her relative in Chicago, maybe her sister.
Yeah, like Aunt Arlene, I think.
Aunt Arlene. How you doing? She says, doesn't take a breath and says, listen, you'll never believe.
Peak mom.
Yeah, and I thought, the Buffy apple doesn't fall far from the Joyce tree, you know? This lady ain't even gonna wait for her to say what's going on with her life. She's like, let me tell you about mine. So just saying.
Wow.
Snyder is really confused about what packaging drugs come in for the whole episode. That's his through line.
Yeah, totally.
He's like, that lunch bag surely is where you're keeping your drugs.
Yeah, I've never seen one of those rectangular craft paper bags on a picnic table at school
and
during lunch hours before.
Certainly if you're not keeping your drugs in your lunch bag, you're keeping it in a giant box with a fucking
built-in mutant spider defense mechanism.
Right. Also where drugs are kept. So
totally.
Snyder's needs a little. This reminds me of I don't mean to scandalize anyone, but I got caught smoking pot.
What?
I was in high school. I was a sophomore. I was 15, and my parents were upset, and obviously. And my mom was like not so sure about what pot might smell like. Like my mom has definitely smoked pot at some points in her life. But like I'd been far enough away from it for long enough.
Yo, sorry, you are lighting a fire for me. Please go on.
Well, okay. So it's a very quick story. I remember right in the aftermath of it, like a week or two later, I was in the kitchen. It was late at night. I had just come home from like hanging out with my friends, and I was peeling an orange. And my mom came downstairs and was like, I smell pot. And I was like, it's an orange. And she was like, I smell pot. And I was like, it's an orange. I definitely did not smoke any pot. And it was just like, whatever. My mom and Snyder share some commonality is all I'm saying. Paranoia around pot.
What is it about grown-ups who totally have smoked pot?
Right.
But like now can't like, I remember once I went swimming in a local creek with some friends, as you do. And then my friends and I like went back to one of my friends' house, and their parents, their dad was like convinced that like the smell of creek water was the smell of weed. Like, and I was like, bro,
right?
We literally all just went somewhere like in our like clothes or swimsuits and like jumped in water and came back. Like, where even do you think?
I mean, you definitely could have smoked pot.
Sure, but it just was like you know me. I'm not really into like the idea of being told that I did something that I didn't do.
Yeah, you don't like it. You don't like it.
If I fuck up and I do something wrong, I'm happy to self-flagellate. But like, I'm not gonna take it for something I didn't fucking do.
Right.
And like, shut up and learn what pot smells like.
Yeah. But I think parents, they don't have a lot of control at that point in their parenthood. It's like you have to let your kid go like swim in a creek. You have to let your kid go like hang out with their friends, and you can't control what's happening. So you get in your head. It's funny because smoking pot can make you paranoid, but smoking pot can also make your parents paranoid, even if they don't smoke the pot.
It's a non-contact high side effect.
Yes, I hope that some stoned people are listening to this right now, stoned, so that their minds just exploded. Okay, cool. And now I'm the person who doesn't know what pot does. I'm like, they're probably hallucinating. Okay.
So Xander's taking it on the road.
Yeah, this is funny. I like this. This is exactly what Xander would do.
Yeah.
Like, this is on brand for Xander.
Yeah.
He's going to take it on the road. He's going to read Jack Kerouac, you know. He's going to find himself in the Beat Poets. And, like, you know what? Maybe there's something for him to find there.
Maybe.
Like, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to take Xander away from reading Kerouac. I'm not going to do it.
Sure. I would like Xander to find, like, somebody other than Cordelia to talk to and vice versa.
Dude, I'm so bored of this plot line.
Yeah.
Like, it's enough. Like, I just feel... Listen, I don't mean to insult anybody, but I feel like there's a little bit of laziness happening in, like, getting to Cordelia plot points. Like, that the only way we ever get to Cordelia plot points
is by, like, her and Xander...
and also her being a
underbellies.
total asshole, like, in a way that is... The series started with her being kind of one-dimensional, and then she became multi-dimensional. And somebody pointed out, maybe we even talked about it in another episode, that, like, since her and Xander broke up, she's really lost a lot of her dimensionality. And like, it just feels like nobody's trying. Like, it feels like they're really, I don't know. And I'm bored. Like, they've been fighting like this forever. There's not even a reason for them to be fighting anymore. Like, either she's not on the show anymore or she's on the show. If she's on the show, give her some damn... Like, give her some good ins instead of just walking onto set, walking onto screen, being an asshole.
Well, do think, though, for a moment about how many people they're, like, trying to juggle and keep us invested in all at the same time. Like, the cast has expanded significantly. We've got Oz. Angel is back and things are weird over there.
That's what, but then, like...
Faith, the mayor...
If they're doing a good job with everybody else, they can do a good job with Cordelia. And I do not feel that a good job is being done with Cordelia. I believe that everyone has forgotten that she has many layers and they're only focusing on one, and I have had it.
Okay.
That's all.
Noted.
Okay. Also, just a little shout out to a line in the scene where they're outside, because, of course, Willow has gotten into every school. And she's talking about Oxford, not to be confused with Oxnard. And she says, Buffy says, that's where they make Giles's.
It's very cute.
It was very cute. This was a very cute little line. So shout out to it.
So Buffy, after being told that she has no future by Cordelia, immediately storms into the library and is like, I suddenly must. The most important thing in my entire existence is that I go away to school.
Right. And then, but this is like choices.
And Giles is so proud.
Giles is so proud that she got into Northwestern. And also, like, I think the important thing that happens in this scene is Buffy's discussion. It's, it's brief, but it's like, I'm a person and I don't want to be defined by being the Slayer. Like, that's not the only thing I am. I'm other things outside of that. So, like,
listen, nobody wants to be defined by one dimension of their personhood. But like, this leads her to very proactive, let's take the fight to the mayor.
Yes.
Let's take the fight to the mayor so that I can defeat the evil so I can go away to college.
Yeah, not sound reasoning here, but it does at least get us a great move from Wesley, who crosses 2 fingers by 2 fingers over his chest and says, by the power invested in me. Which is delightful.
Pretty good.
But I'm annoyed with Wesley. Like, I feel like I had a more rounded understanding of Wesley's character coming into Wesley, and I forgot how much I did not like Wesley.
Yeah, I mean, nobody likes Wesley right now.
He's a pain in the fucking ass. And he, like, whatever, I'll get there later, because he really bothers me in this episode. He's bothered me with a lot of things, but whatever. Over you, Wesley. What is Faith wearing to the airport? What is she wearing?
Her boobs, if I remember
correctly.
They
are encased in sateen. And held up by leather.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's a sight to behold. You cannot help but to be like, what is happening? Like, she picked that outfit out.
Also, just putting this out there, I mean, she's still lugging that compound bow
around.
She
loves the bow.
And you're drawing that across your chest, you know, with your arm out in front of you, like sort of to the side of your chest, right?
Sure, and as we learned from like the Hunger Games, you're probably the like string is probably pressing up against your mouth when you aim.
Yeah, and it's gonna whip across your body as you release.
So you're worried about Faith's
I'm
breasts.
worried about her sateen. I'm worried about her leather. I'm worried about the many available solid things with which the bowstring.
This is how Jenny also talks about anyone else's breasts. They're solid things. Those solid things that you have on your body.
I'm just concerned for her well-being. It doesn't seem like A, what you want to wear to murder, B, what you want to wear to the airport, or C, what you want to wear when you're using your compound bow.
I agree.
So,
not to be like the line police here, shouting out lines, but like, I'm sorry. The guy's like, you killed him. And Faith's like, what are you, the narrator?
It's quite good. It's inarguably great.
Like, it's great. It's really good chuckle.
Perspective. Now, what is this trash where she's like, he's cuffed to the box, and then she draws her knife, and then the vampire's like, that won't cut through steel, and she's like, it'll cut through bone, and then the vampire's like, whoa, this bitch is bad. Like, what vampire is gonna be like, you're gonna cut through bone?
Seriously. Also, how does she know it will cut through bone? Do you think that's why she sniffed it? She was like, yes, this will do. This will cut through bone, but not steel.
Now, when I christen my knives, I almost always start by cutting through some kind of bone.
This is disturbing. Backtrack.
No, I just went to like the butcher and I was like, give me your roundest. No,
yeah, keep going, Jenny. Yeah, where's it gonna go? Your roundest
I don't
bone.
know what Kristen goes to the butcher.
Give
not
me your solid objects. Okay.
Oh no.
So Buffy is back to hiding. She's, well, I really miss the trench coat and the tiny glasses.
Yes, but we get a taste
one,
of it as she ducks into the bushes.
She's just not. It's not her thing. It's not her thing. And the mayor's organizing his pencils, as noted. And this is, she sees the box go in, right? Is that what happens? And then she goes after the vamp who's scandalized.
Like, what's in the box?
Yeah, what's in the box?
So, listen.
Speaking of outfits.
Oh, yes.
Willow's dress.
Is it the long, crushed velvet thing for the whole episode?
Yes.
Wait.
It's good.
Because also,
good.
Just hang on.
Okay.
Made him an offer he couldn't survive. I feel like this episode is like really snappy.
Yes, it is.
Really, really, really snappy.
Is. I'm sure that if we looked at other episodes written by David Fury, we would see the snappiness. Because that's what I'm noticing. Now that we're paying it to... Okay, Sam, I'm just going to give you all... Sam what are you doing, Sam? Sam is trying to climb up onto an amp in the room, and she's all a fool. Today's Sam's birthday, everyone.
Happy birthday,
I mean,
Sam.
not the day you're listening to this, but the day we're recording it is Sam's birthday, and she's really upset with us for doing work on her birthday.
She's really expressing her displeasure in a serious way. Okay, so before we get to Willow's dress that you like so much, I want to talk about a couple things that happen at City Hall. First of all, the mayor's like, oh God, dude, such a mistake. He's like, oh, Faith, you're so competent. Oh, Faith, you're so good at killing people I didn't even ask you to kill. Oh, the initiative. Oh, and she's like, go on. And he's like, yeah, if Buffy Summers came in here and said, like, I'd like to work for you, I'd tell her to take a hike. And it's like, read the fucking room, bro.
Dude.
The only open wound to which you have immediate access. And you're just going to fucking jam your finger in there?
Yeah.
And make Faith feel bad?
Yeah. Faith, I had a lot of little sad emojis for Faith in this.
It's a rough episode.
Right, it just is. It's like, I don't think I'm
at.
ever going to get to a point where I'm like, fuck you, Faith. I'm just always like,
never.
God. Never.
No, you will. I will only allow you to be in a place where you say, Faith, we do have a guest bed.
Yeah.
So, and also, Faith is like, and this is not the first time this happens in the episode, Faith is like lifting up the lid, and the mayor's like, don't do that.
Yes.
Okay, so listen, don't you think if you have a huge ancient-looking box and it contains 50 billion in horrifying mutant spiders the size of footballs.
Definitely hatched.
Don't you think you would have fucking latches on that goddamn box?
Agree. Like a
unbelievable.
lock and like many things.
At least latches.
Yes.
Definitely a lock in my book, but like what is everybody doing? Okay, now back to the dress you like so much.
Okay, well, whatever. It's just a dress. It's made of velvet. I like it. I think it looks really good on Willow. I think it's like really, she's really embracing her Wiccan nature, you know?
Is that okay?
Yes, it's great. It's beautiful. She's doing a good job, Jenny. She's doing a beautiful job.
She looks like the inside of a conch shell.
Wow. A compliment, I suppose.
Definitely. Have you ever seen the inside of a conch shell?
Yeah.
So beautiful. Sorry.
You gonna be all right? You need a minute?
I'm okay. Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin. And if you have sensitive skin, you're going to want to hear about their scientifically proven topical supplements. Free from over 1,500 chemicals and preservatives that can make skin red, irritated, or itchy, their products are safe for sensitive skin. It's just one of the reasons they've earned the Skin Safe seal of approval.
They've also earned the Jenny Owen Youngs and Kristen Russo seal of approval, if I do say so myself, Jenny.
I couldn't agree more. I've been using OneSkin for a few months, and after a few weeks, I remember it like it was yesterday. I texted Kristen and I was like, maybe she's born with it. I looked in the mirror that morning and was like, oh, things are happening, and I am happy.
I have used a million billion skin products, and I did not think that I was going to switch off of the skin like lotion, the moisturizer that I used and the under eye cream that I use, because I have used them for a little while and I really like them. And I've switched completely, which is a pretty big deal. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. By focusing on the cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. Get started today with 15% off using code BUFFERING at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with code BUFFERING. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, and if you can, please tell them that we sent you.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Burntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I uncover the blasphemous truth of a plague-ridden world, that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Burntwine, coming January 2nd, wherever podcasts are available.
Hello, I'm Simon Jack.
And I'm Sing Sing.
And together we host Good Bad Billionaire, the podcast exploring the minds, the motives, and the money of some of the world's richest individuals.
Every episode, we pick a billionaire and we find out how they made their money.
And then we judge them. Are they good, bad, or just another billionaire?
Good Bad Billionaire from the BBC World Service.
Listen now wherever you get your BBC podcasts.
Okay, so this scene in the library is like basically there to show us that nobody cares what Wesley thinks and nobody's listening to Wesley, and Wesley's getting mad, right?
Yeah.
I don't have any other details here except for I get it. We don't listen to Wesley.
Yes.
Then we go to the shop where Cordelia is looking at a dress. Although
how dare she?
Yeah. Although she's not looking at a dress, she's she's looking at a dress, but as we find out
we
later,
don't know yet.
We don't know yet. She also apparently just carries her acceptance letters with her wherever she goes.
And like leaves her purse around on the floor when she's working.
Right. So yeah, Cordelia, whatever. This is where I wrote the Xander Cordy shit is getting old. Xander walks in to be like, oh, you didn't get into any colleges, and I know because I'm stupid. My name is Xander. And then Cordelia is like, my name's Cordelia, and I don't remember having any layers, so I'm just going to show you all of the places I got into college.
And also, I'm mean.
Yeah, done.
Boo.
Whatever. So then it's time
to synchronize our watches.
To synchronize the watches we don't have.
Beautiful.
Very, very fun. So they're all like in the van, which I believe is like the white hat van in the episode where we're
where'd that van even come from?
Like,
it's not Oz's van.
No.
Oz has a totally different van.
Right. It's like the white hat van is all I'm saying. Was the white hat van Oz's van? No, it was like a different van. So
yeah. Wait,
so
I think that van was a whole other van.
Oh my God.
If somebody could just prepare a set of screenshots for us of every van that's appeared in the show up to this point, that would be fantastic.
Are they renting vans when they need them?
Oh my gosh.
On?
Oh my gosh.
So right. Nobody has a watch. They all have a plan. Who's going to do what? Who's going to do this? You're going to go there. Willow's there for magic, which is cool because she's really starting to be used for her magic skills.
So great. Now, I know when I have an evil artifact that's very important to my demonic ascension, I always want to leave that in an empty conference room.
Yes,
underneath the skylight.
Skylight. Yes.
Well, where else?
Right, I mean,
is safest to put it.
Safest place with no latch.
No.
Leave it there, and it'll be cool with some vamps in the hallway. Not even
Even with no latches on it, don't you think the mutant spiders could actually open it up themselves if they really?
No, there's probably some metaphysics happening
there,
okay,
right. Sure.
So, before we get to the big moment, we go to the library where I just really enjoy that Xander and Oz have left behind to do magic, like the basic magic now.
Right.
You know, they're like Willow's advanced to like level 301.
Sure.
So I guess just give it to Oz and Xander, and they're like, they trusted us, so I guess it can't be that hard.
And Willow made them a little set of diagrams.
Which is very cute. I also really liked that one of the ingredients in their spell was twice blessed sage.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've been missing out because I think
you've been settling for once blessed.
Yeah, or maybe never blessed. I don't even know. I don't even know. I've never.
If I bless it twice, does that count, or is there a particular protocol?
I think you have to have some kind of blessing power to bless it. But
you think I don't have blessing power?
But I didn't mean we've
been together for 8 years.
We're
and
making
you don't think
a
I have blessing power?
This is not the place to
what
have
the
a fight.
Fuck?
Listen, everything's fine. We'll talk about it after.
Okay.
Great. So now, Jenny. No. Some stuff happens. First of all, Willow
Winch Master Angel.
No, we're not there yet. It's almost time for the jingle. But first, Willow uses her magic and baby powder, or whatever the fuck it is.
Sure, yeah.
To break the spell, so good
Beautiful.
on her. Now, break out the fucking zip line, or whatever you call this fucking thing. Now it's time for what, Jenny?
Detective Angel.
While that was playing, Jenny let me know that she had said winch master angel. I didn't hear it. I thought she was something about witches, and I railroaded her joke.
How dare you?
So Jenny, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm not even sure that thing's technically a winch.
It's certainly not a zip line. That's what I called it. So Detective Angel lowers Buffy. This is ridiculous.
Oh, this is so stupid.
It's so stupid. He lowers her down to the box. She picks up the box, and the vamps are like, uh-oh.
Well, an alarm goes off. It's not attached to anything, but just like a school bell alarm goes off.
Right. It's like a laser. It's like there's lasers that we can't see in the room or something.
Don't you think we would have seen lasers from like when the dust went down?
Yes, I do. I really do. But you know what I think, Jenny?
What's that?
I think that Angel is one of the strongest fucking vampires that exist on the planet. He cannot lift her up with his arms. He cannot pull her up through the window. Why? What is the point of being strong?
Maybe, you know, he's like pulling on the thing. It's jammed. He's like, I'll just pull harder and then it'll unjam, but that doesn't work. And then by the time he might have been like, guess I'll start hoisting you up. Like the alarm was already going off. Help was already on the way.
No.
Like it would have taken too long for him to hoist.
This is ridiculous.
Listen, I want to watch Angel hoist. I want to say hoist as many times as I possibly can. And I want to watch Angel hoist people all the day long. But
anyway,
whatever.
He doesn't. And so she's like, uh-oh, guess you're not going to help me get down, are you? And then Angel jumps down and they fight the vamps. And here's what I love.
What do you love?
Angel has a flashback and he's like, remember that time that door fell on me and I couldn't get up for ages? I know. I'll put this table on top of the vampires and they won't be able to get up. And it works because, you know, there's just a couple of ways to disarm a vamp. You can stake them or you can put one flat piece of wood on top of them. You can't do anything.
Well, think about how many potential stakes are alive within that one flat piece of wood. So this fight sequence
It's silly.
You know,
it's good. Some good box whacking. Sorry,
box whacking, an American classic,
Yeah.
of course. It's very proppy and very like do.
right? But whatever.
Schmankity do. But whatever. They fight the guys. They put a table on top of them. Then they run out and like duck into the bushes. And then the black van somehow is perfectly timed to just like
distract
past
them,
right? And like, what are they gonna circle back, or like they're just gonna like
No,
drive
I
and
think
lose
that
the
they
vampires
knew-
while Buffy and Angel run in the opposite direction. They all meet back at the.
I think they knew what they were doing. Like, I think they saw what was happening, and they were like, they'll think that they're in the van or whatever.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on there.
So the mayor loses his temper, I think, for the first time. I mean, like, he kind of lost his temper a little bit with Faith here and there, but like he loses it, and it's scary. I thought it was scary.
Yeah, I like. Yep. Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we find out that Faith has done something good. I mean, it's not good, but like for her position as the mayor's assistant.
I really like seeing him like go from like I feel like we see the pendulum swing and then swing back. Like we see him be like, well, this is a gosh darn disappointment.
Yes.
And then he's like, they've got my box. In that like scary, like my jaw is wired shut, angry stepdad way.
Yeah, right.
And
exactly.
then kind of just a little ref for all you angry stepdad having kids out there. Cool vibe. And then when Faith busts in with her knife on Willow's throat, he's just like, right back to Gleamsville.
Showing us, right, that like as joyful and jolly as the mayor is, that there's such a thin little layer of that, and underneath is some scary shit.
Yeah.
So now we go to the library. This is some
losing battle, Wes.
But this is some real shit, right?
Yeah.
Because Wesley's argument is a valid argument.
Sure.
It's not where I side, and it's
Right.
not where the Scoobies side, but it's not like he's saying something ridiculous. He's
Right.
just saying, you don't understand what you're not thinking of the big picture here. You're only thinking of the immediate thing in front of you.
Uh-huh.
And it's a challenging thing to unpack, right? Like, if I were them and if I am me, you go and you save Willow, because that's what you do, because Willow's part of your group and part of your core, and that is what people do. You're loyal.
Right.
But in a larger scale, it is like, if you know you're sacrificing one for the lives of thousands, and if you save that one, then everyone might die. It's tricky.
Yes.
But you know who it's not fucking tricky for?
Well, I mean everyone, but most of all Oz.
Most of all Oz. Now, I have Sexual Attention Award nominees that are probably more aligned with where we normally give sexual attention.
What?
But I just want to put myself into the ring that I would like to be considered for a Sexual Attention Award with Oz when he knocks over the...
Wow.
Because let me tell you what, as much as I love Faith and as much as I love this person or that person, I don't think I have been as turned on in the series to date as I was when Oz got up out of his damn chair and was like, blam. What the fuck? Sorry. That's how I feel.
Wow.
I'm into it, Jenny. I don't think we're going to win, but I just want to put us in as nominees, okay?
Well, listen, it would only be fair for you
Yeah.
to be considered in a pairing.
I agree. But soon we're going to get to another pairing that I think might take it. But
Okay.
before then, we go to the mayor's office. We're in the mayor's office for a while now. A lot of things happen. First of all, Willow using that magic to slay a fucking vamp with a pencil.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is great. This is a great skill. Like, maybe we're going to see Willow, like, actually levitating stakes and bigger objects.
That would
to
rock.
slay demons and monsters. I'm into it. We learned that the mayor has had a dog named Rusty.
And that he learned dogs' sense of friendship is stronger than reason or their sense of self-preservation, which makes me feel like he killed his dog. Just putting it out there. Don't you just like...
God, it was already sad, and now
I
it's
know.
sadder.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't think so. I think it's just like, you know, the movie Up when the dog hides under the thing.
I hid under the porch because I love you.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like,
Okay,
Jen,
right.
we need to take a break so you can cry for
no,
a minute?
No,
You're gonna be all right.
no. I'm
but
good.
like, you know, it's like a dog's faithfulness is like a thing. It doesn't mean you have to kill your dog to find that out. Like it's kind of just a dog trait. We see the map of Santa Barbara in the mayor's office.
We sure do. And then Willow finds the Books of Ascension in the dark arts cabinet.
She does. And they do a nice little crossfade here to show us that she's been reading them for quite some time.
Yeah, the passage of time, spanning time.
How did they like, who do you think was the first person that ever did a crossfade to signal the passing of time? Because we all know that now. We see a crossfade where many.
That's what it means.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Do let us know.
Yes, please
whoever
write
out
in
there knows.
bufferingthevampireslayer@gmail.com and let us know if you know where the crossfade came in. And so here's where
so much to say.
Yeah.
Can I
please leap?
So Faith finds Willow reading, and she's like,
the
little bookworm.
Yeah, she does. She's like a redhead.
Okay. And then, like, Willow does her, like, bootstraps Rosenberg routine, where first of all, I like It's Way Too Late, even though I don't believe that. I thought it was, like,
great line.
But then, like, Willow does her whole, like, yeah, maybe you had a rough childhood, but, like, you really, like, fucked up and you didn't, like, reach your potential and you didn't work hard enough to, like, not be evil or whatever. And then she says, you had a lot more than many people. You had friends like Buffy. Buffy, your friend who wouldn't let you move into her guest room?
Yeah.
And plus many other things that we don't need to go into here.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is, like, Willow's line of reasoning isn't really spot on here, but also I love her. She's furious with Faith. Faith has, like, ruined people's lives, namely her closest friend. She's, she knows Buffy, like, feels like she can't even go away to college because Faith has just, like, jumped ship and they were a team before and, like, whatever. Willow.
You think Willow's mad at Faith for breaking Buffy's heart?
I do. I really do. And I think because, like, this reminds me of my best friend who, like, doesn't ever have an emotion when something's wrong for me except for to be angry at whatever the thing is that's making me upset. She just, and that's, like, where Willow is. Willow is just like, you know what? You hurt my friend and you're a selfish piece of shit. And I don't care. You had friends and you're boo-hoo and you're,
and then Faith's like, you're begging for some deep pain.
Yes. In case you missed what Jenny said, Faith says, you're begging for some deep pain. Okay, that's fine. Sure. So this is where I'm going to posit that another contender for the Sexual Attention Award in this episode is Faith and Willow.
And then, yes. And then, of course, the third contender is Faith and the Jackal.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So we'll ruminate on that.
Yeah.
And we'll come back to it. You know what I think would be fun for season 4? Jenny and everyone listening.
What's that?
It's every time we do a Sexual Attention Award, we say, like, here's some nominees and then we pick.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, what if next season we say the nominees and then we put up a Twitter poll and we let them, you all, choose the winner?
That'll really streamline the end of season bracket process.
Yeah.
It'll already be done.
No.
Well,
no, they're just picking the one. You don't understand. Emily, who makes our bracket, is like shaking her head.
Sorry,
like,
Emily, I'm really stupid about brackets.
Anyway, I think it would be fun. We'll see what happens, but for now, we'll keep season 3 consistent. We'll still pick the winners for the rest of season 3. Anyway,
so like Buffy was like, Giles, make the call. And then they show up to the trade.
Wait, because I have a sad face for Faith. Okay. Because after this whole thing that Willow says, she says, I got someone. I got him.
Faith, no! Come stay in our guest bed!
You have an evil mayor. Please come to my arms. I'll hold you so tightly.
Listen, sometimes when you don't know what love looks like, you think love is a free, nice apartment with a weird pink couch that's asymmetrical and chocolate chip cookies and being told to wear your hair back so
and
that
warm milk.
Your pretty face is visible.
And not like warm milk, like milk that is warm in a way it shouldn't be.
Warmed in the sun.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, now you were saying.
Okay, so they're meeting up for this trade, which of course they're doing like in the school cafeteria, and they're like securing all the doors. I'm doing air quotes.
Yeah.
And don't worry, Giles brought a baseball bat. And also don't worry, Xander brought a baseball hat with a hook on it.
A baseball hat or a baseball bat?
A baseball bat.
I wish she had brought a baseball hat with a hook on it.
Okay.
Yes, so they're all ready, and then somebody shuts the lights off.
Yeah, someone mayoral.
Right. Or is it Snyder? Like, who knows?
No, I think it's the mayor.
So
I think it's like pretty telegraphed to us.
Yeah.
Via script.
So the mayor walks in, and this is like really great. This is like the standoff here is, I think it's done very nicely. I like the way it's shot.
Yeah.
I like the feeling of it. It's the first time, surprisingly, it's the first time that Buffy and the mayor have been in, like, have met face to face. They've been in the same spaces a couple times.
But never in this sort of context or directly contacting.
They've never spoken to each other or really seen each other.
And the way that the mayor uses this time is to just indulge in the traditional supervillain waxes poetic with relationship advice to a couple who have a 225-year age difference trope.
Right?
You know?
Spike came first, now the mayor.
Yes,
Everybody's got something to say about these two lovebirds. But what's interesting, so the mayor... a lot happens, right? She's pretty, Angel, a little skinny. What?
How dare you?
You know what that calls for? The patriarchy!
Keep your observations off my body.
Yeah, and while we're on the patriarchy train, let's change that camera angle and look over to Angel, who says, I like 'em sane.
Okay, everyone's doing a bad job.
Everybody needs to
also
calm down.
Also, that leads to, I mean, not just for like, don't be a shitty person reasons, but also don't be a shitty person by like fucking insulting Faith, who has a knife pressed against the throat of Willow.
Right. So, but this is really interesting. I find this to be really, really interesting because the mayor, like, what is the mayor's... The mayor isn't like doing... I don't think that the mayor is doing this for any reason but to just engage. He's just...
that's a kind of fucking weird guy he is.
Yeah,
like,
and he shares that he's had this experience, that he was married, and he like went through this shit with his wife.
Well,
like,
maybe there's some like just wants to engage, but then maybe there's some like positioning himself as a person in a position of knowledge and like I know better and like I have this experience, so I'm gonna tell you like what you're too like young and dumb to know.
Right, and it could, I mean, I think maybe people would posit that like, well, he knows it's gonna mess with Buffy's head, and so like it could be tactical in that sense. But it feels like there's more to it than just like a tactical move, you know? So I don't know.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. And
Immortal does not make for an easy pairing.
Exactly. And if we are believing him, if we're, you know, assuming that he's telling the truth here, that, you know, he does have personal experience with it, that's interesting. Because like he's walked in those shoes. He's actually done this thing. Sounds like they were together till the end, although miserable. Just very interesting.
It's also like, sorry.
No, just like his line, like, what kind of life can you offer her? It's like very cutting and very real, and you know?
Yeah, and when he's like saying you want to keep her from the life that she deserves until it's like passed her by, is that what you came back from hell for? Is that your greater purpose? Like, where's the mayor getting all of his information from?
He knows about true happiness. He has a lot of back info on Angel.
And then he's just like so disgusted. Like, make the trade. There's no talking to these young people.
Yeah. He's an interesting guy, that mayor. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of, speaking of layers, the mayor's got a lot of layers too. So, you know who doesn't have many layers? Is
Snyder.
Fucking Snyder, who walks in and is like, I knew you were dealing drugs in this box full of spiders. It's just ridiculous. So then we learn that there are spiders in the box.
Yeah, one of them eats a cop's face.
You know what this reminds me of, Jenny?
Alien?
Bad eggs!
Oh. Yes,
I get the like shivers the same way I got the shivers from the bugs and bad eggs from these spiders. And they do a lot of similar things. They're latching onto faces.
Sure.
They're getting knifed to the wall. Wasn't that what happened to the bug? He got knifed to the wall?
I think it got scissored to the wall, if I remember correctly. 50 billion.
50 billion. They made a sequel to this episode was a movie called Arachnophobia.
Okay.
That's my 90s joke. I think it's probably in the wrong order.
I think you're right.
Arachnophobia came first.
It is in the wrong order. But Faith loses her knife.
Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. She does. I'm going to talk about it in 1 second. We'll get there in 1 second. Because I just want to make sure that everyone who's watched the episode saw Snyder's reaction to the mayor's face healing. It is spectacular. He's so horrified, which is interesting because, like, up until this point, we've heard Snyder, like, we know Snyder's, like, in the loop in a sense.
Yeah. A bit.
But yet it seems like now watching this scene, he's very like ill-informed. He only knows like very surface things and like follows orders without knowing the depth and the scope of things because he really is not prepared for what he's seeing.
No.
Very scared, as evidenced by him holding up that damn chair against his chest like a fool. Anyway,
really
raise your hand if you're invulnerable. Also, very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny. But then the knife. This is a second sad face for Faith.
Yeah.
Because it's just like nobody gives her anything. She really treasures this knife. And the mayor just is like, we're going. You know, like snaps his fingers like she's a dog.
Yeah.
And she has to leave it. And it sucks. And I'm sad for her because I want her to have a nice thing. You know?
Yes, I want her to have a nice deadly
knife
weapon.
Thing. I want her to have a knife thing.
So Willow recounting the whole situation to Buffy is pretty great.
Oh, it's so good. Let's hear a little clip of it, actually.
So Faith was like, I'm gonna beat you up, and I'm not afraid of you. And then she had the knife, which was less fun. And then, I told her, you made your choice. Buffy was your friend.
Yes. This is fascinating, but just to get back to the point.
It's really special. It is very authentic. It's like exactly how I would tell a story to a person. You know, I just identify with her excitement. You know who else is excited?
Who?
Giles.
Oh my God.
So excited. He's so excited for me. She hands him the pages. Right? He's like, oh my God. Christmas morning.
Yeah.
And then Wesley is a stupid, idiot asshole. This is where my note is, fuck you, Wesley. This is when I was like, oh, I don't like him.
Hope it was worth it.
Yeah. Like, suck it, man.
He sucks.
Just, yeah.
But hey, guess what?
What?
Willow's not going anywhere.
Oh,
She's gonna go to UC Sunnydale.
My note in all caps is Willow and Buffy forever.
Wow.
It's just really great. She looks so cute in her overalls, and like she's like, I'm going to UC Sunnydale, and Buffy's gonna stay in Sunnydale, and they're gonna be together, and it's really special because also like they just saved Willow, and she knows that. But then to just put icing on this great cake, Willow's like, you know what? It isn't even about you.
I know, this is so Buffy to be like, you can't stay just for me. And Willow's like, actually, bitch.
But you know what? That's the thing is like Willow, the reason that Willow and Buffy are such good friends is because Willow isn't like actually bitch. She's like, no, actually, like she's like really like, no, Buffy, listen, let me tell you about things other than you, you know? She's just like so patient and loving and like knows that Buffy will someday understand that not everything is about being the chosen one.
And that's all great. And then this line happens.
Yeah.
And the line is, you look at something and you think you know exactly what it is, and then you find out it's something else entirely. And what the fuck does this line mean other than to like set up the next scene that immediately follows? Like, is it like you think you see Willow getting into lots of schools and you know she's going to go to like Oxford or something?
Right?
But then or
you
like,
don't? Or is it like you think that Faith is going to be a Slayer pal, but then what's the...
Throw this line in the trash.
It's very out of the thing. But before we go, though, before we leave the scene, like, I talked about Willow being like, it's not about you, but I just want to like just give a minute for Willow here because she says like, you know, I want to fight evil. It's worth doing. And I don't think that you do it, Buffy, because you have to. It's because it's a good fight.
Best
and then
friends.
Buffy says, I kind of love you. And it's just really great. It's two social justice warriors coming together.
Theirs is a beautiful friendship.
Change. And, you know, we don't have a jingle for Buffy and Willow together. So in the absence of that, let's give Willow her jingle. But as we listen to it, let's in our hearts listen to it as their jingle right now.
Wow.
Who knows the square root of 1225? Willow, who's gentle of heart and nimble with a hard drive. Willow, 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 Willow.
So they go and they get mochas, which is such like a, You know, sometimes things really hit me in the nostalgia place.
Oh, sure, yeah.
This really hit me in the nostalgia because it just reminded me of like being a senior in high school or being a freshman in college and like having friends and having like a kind of freedom that I don't feel I have anymore. It was like life was just like opening itself in front of me, and we could be like, let's go to Wendy's, you know, like just like let's do a thing that's like just fun, and like that was it. You weren't thinking like, oh, I shouldn't do this thing, but I'll do it. You were just like, let's do this thing.
Yes.
And I don't know, it just made me nostalgic is all. So
I'm with that. Cordelia's working in retail.
And
it's hard to experience this as like what this show like wants us to experience it as.
That's exactly the note that I have.
Like I looked around for my violin.
It was playing. Like there was like this dramatic music playing,
and then I had a job.
Yeah. So this is probably going to cause like all sorts of chaos when I say this, but Jenny and I have not watched Girls. We watched a few episodes, and I could not watch the show because I couldn't get behind like for the first thing in that show is like, oh no, mom and dad took my money away and I'm a white girl with rich parents and now they're not supporting me. What's gonna happen? And listen, I know that there's more to it. I mean, Jesus, even bringing up Lena Dunham is like a
good
explosive.
Luck with our inbox.
We're not gonna like dig. We're not gonna dig into that. But just that plot line, I was like, I can't watch this. I can't get emotionally invested in a plot line where somebody's rich parents took their money away from them. I can't unless it's the L word and it's Helena. Just kidding.
Kristen!
Deep cut for all the L word listeners, watchers. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I just can't. It's very difficult for me to feel anything for, I mean, you know? Like,
well, we don't know what's happening yet.
We don't.
It could be
what?
It could be anything. I don't know.
Whatever. It's just, but
she could have a life-threatening illness for which the only way to slow it down is to work in retail.
Oh, is the sequin dress? It's a magic dress.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we don't know all the details, but I just like the dramatic music behind this was like, okay,
yeah,
like what? I don't know. So anyway, graveyard picnic.
Okay, so this scene, they're on this. You know when you're like with your boyfriend and it's like not the time of night when you're going to be like killing things in the cemetery together, but instead you lay out your blanket and you like cuddle up against a giant tombstone and you're talking about how like the evil mayor said a bunch of shit and like he doesn't know what he's talking about. Probably the only lasting relationship he's ever had has been with evil. Except Edna May, who he married in '03. Were you even listening?
So
he was with her until the end. 1903.
Right. I was like, was it 1903 or 2003? Right. It's literally 1999. So
and then Buffy's like, he doesn't even know anything about us, except he knows like a lot of basic facts about how Angel can't have one true moment of happiness, and Angel went to hell, and then Angel's back from hell, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's called denial, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Which is, didn't we start there at the beginning of the episode?
Yes. Yes, we did. So
a river runs through it, and that river is
Brad Pitt?
Nile.
Is that river? Is it also Brad
Nile.
Pitt?
No, it's just a joke about the Nile.
Sorry. I just had a poster of a river runs through it on my... Okay, you want to know something
really
about me as we wind out of this episode? I had a Brad Pitt wall in my bedroom in high school.
How big of a wall are we talking here?
It wasn't a full-size wall. It was I want to say it was probably like 2 feet wide, maybe 2.5 feet wide, but floor to ceiling.
Wow.
Was only Brad Pitt, because I don't know if you know this, but Brad Pitt is a gateway to the lady lovin'. Yeah.
I'd like to ban the phrase "the lady lovin'" from this podcast moving forward.
I'm just saying, yeah, it wasn't phrased well. I also ban it.
But Brad Pitt is the boy that you liked in high school because he had long, pretty hair,
yes,
and
a
fine,
pretty
beautiful
face.
features and lovely skin.
Yes. And like a soft, you know, like he would cry and whatever. So my centerpiece of the Brad Pitt wall was a River Runs Through It poster And then I had around it many, many, many pictures from magazines that I pulled out, all of Brad Pitt, some from Thelma and Louise. My least favorite one was he went through this phase where he bleached his hair like bright, bright blonde, and it was like long and bleached blonde. I didn't like it, but I had to fill the wall. So, you know.
Sure.
Back in those days, you couldn't really find shit on the internet and print it out. So I was like going through magazines to find my wallscape. Anyway, now you know that I had a wall of Brad Pitt. And that's a great way to end this episode about choices, because you know what? I made a choice, Jenny.
You sure did.
And I stand by it. Brad Pitt is a hunk.
Oh, listen, speaking of hunks, that reminds me, we still have one final order of business to conduct. We have
I
something
know where you're going
to dole out.
Sexual Attention Award.
So, what do we say? The contenders are Willow and Faith.
Yes, Willow and Faith versus me and Oz flipping over the cauldron.
Wow.
I know where it's going, okay? I understand. I think that me and Oz gave it a good show.
No, listen, I know what the people want in what they think they want.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But I think even more than giving the Sexual Attention Award to Faith and Willow, I think the people want you to be happy and for you to be living your best life and getting the most out of every moment. Therefore, as I was once paired with Xander's shirt, I think the co-dictator of this tiny island upon which we live. I wish to decree, if no one vetoes me, and the only person here to do that is you, so don't do it.
Okay.
If nobody vetoes me, I think it should go to you and Oz flipping over the cauldron. I think you've earned it.
Wow, an upset. I'm not gonna veto you, Jenny, because when you speak your mind, you really mean it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
I'm a fucking red-blooded American woman. God damn it! I want Willow and Faith to spend more time together with knives and books. Fine, but also you're my wife.
Wow.
And I just want nice things for you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I will look for the trophy in the mail.
Please do. Oh my God.
I can't believe it. After all this time, I won my very own Sexual Attention Award.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you to Jenny. Thank you to the Academy. Academy of Sexual Tension.
The Academy of Sexual Tension. Well, everyone.
Yeah, we did it.
We sure did. And by we, I mean I'm Jenny Owen Youngs. And when I'm not making this podcast with Kristen, I'm making hot jams. You can hear some of them over at jennyowenyoungs.com/buffering. And you can always give me a holler on Twitter at Jenny Owen Youngs.
Yes, and I am Kristen Russo. You can find me on Twitter at Kristen Noeline. That's KristinnOeline. And that is also how you can find my website, KristenNoeline.com. And over there, you can learn about the work that I do with LGBTQ communities and their families and, all the other sorts of bibs and bobs. What do you call it?
I think it's bits and bobs.
Bits and bobs.
If it has to be that, that's what it is.
All of the other bits and bobs that I do when I'm not watching Buffy.
Buffering the Vampire Slayer is on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at BufferingCast. And you can always email us at bufferingthevampireslayer@gmail.com.
You can, and you can support us in a few ways. You can go over to iTunes and rate and review us. So many of you have done that already, and it's really cool because it helps people find the podcast. And so then, we all just get to have more friends, really, at the end of the day. You can also support us on Patreon by going to bufferingthevampireslayer.com. Just click on Patreon, and you'll see that there are 3 different levels that you can give at, and you get all sorts of fun things. We mentioned the Buffy watches. We're also going to be doing some off-season Buffy watches. There was a little rumor about us maybe doing a non-Buffy watch of Bring It On. Which could be fun while we're off between seasons 3 and 4.
Or just a watch of the supercut of Eliza Dushku.
Yes, Jenny just wants to watch Eliza Dushku's scenes and Bring It On. So we'll see what happens. You also at certain levels get discounts in the merch store. You get the songs in advance. There's a whole bunch of fun stuff over there. And speaking of merch, you can also support us by buying some patriarchy smashing Buffy themed apparel. Bufferingthevampireslayer.com. Just click on shop, and a reminder that the Randy for Giles pins, now in soft enamel, are back in stock.
Hell yes. And just one last reminder, we still have a couple of lyric sheets left for this month's organization, which is, of course, the Brown Boy Project. You can snag one of those for yourself by going to bufferingthevampireslayer.com and clicking on the little bar at the top of the page that's all like, hey, handwritten lyric sheets, etc. Okay. Till next time. Hanging at the graveyard late last night, slaying dance with Angel and I'm feeling alright. You know I used to bring somebody else around here, but now she's long gone and I never ever see her. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. The mayor got a shipment of a big black box, unlatched, unlocked by the name of Gavrock, full of demon spiders that are way too big for his Sunnydale mascots. I preferred Herbert the pig. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. Breaking into City Hall, we hit a snafu, but my boyfriend's a detective and he doesn't miss a clue. Willow, she got kidnapped but found some first editions of step-by-step instructions for a mayor's ascension. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. Cafeteria's my favorite place to make a trade, but the mayor thinks that me and Angel might not have it made, cause we're 226 years apart, and based on his experience that can be hard. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. Don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know.
I'm Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life.
Gosh, people will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. Positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.